All right, guys, what's up? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. So I just wanted to make this shorter, slightly shorter video that basically is to remind you guys that tomorrow, or should I say later today, as of the time of this recording, by the time it goes up, as you can see right here, we're just under 12 hours away from this thing going live. It's going to be on Twitch, but it's also going to be on YouTube. So if you go down here, it's Twitch TV/Splitgate, as well as YouTube.com/Splitgate. We're going to have both of the CEOs, Ian and Nicholas, are going to be on, and they're going to be playing Splitgate 1 and 2, as well as taking your questions and discussing the relaunch. So hopefully this will be a little bit, and again, I know this is going to sound a little selfish, but because of everything that's going on with this game right now, as well as probably a whole bunch of questions that the community has about not just the state of where we are, but in the state of where we're going, hopefully this will be a little bit less of playing the game with all due respect, but more focused on answering questions. Because I know that there are plenty of fans out there that have the most basic of questions, like for instance, one basic question is, when is No Portals, when is the No More Portals playlist coming back? That's been one of the most highly requested things that people have been asking me. I mean, I've lost count of people that have asked me that at this point, to something a little bit more complicated and something deeper, such as, you guys know the state that you're in right now. Doesn't take a genius to figure out that it's going to be really hard to recover and stuff like that. And as well as the fact that you've got portals that are both the most unique thing about the game, and at the same time, something that's also either something that players are not interested in, or something that players are intimidated by, or whatever, just whatever, right? So it's like, how do you plan on getting back a few of the players that you lost, as well as a whole bunch of new ones, right? And then, of course, keeping them. And we're not just talking about the grind of the progression system, but something such as, like, what are you going to do to appeal to the casual audience? Because the Splitgate community, as amazing as it is and as passionate as it is, the Splitgate community is very small. And the thing is, I stopped myself there for a second because I'm kind of like the black sheep of this community, because I don't use portals like the veterans, and I use them very defensively, and I hardly use them at all. So I'm kind of like the black sheep, and stuff like that. So I kind of have no say in the matter. But being a person that's been playing first-person shooters for as long as I have, and doing this whole YouTube thing for over 10 years, it's like, on top of that, it's like, you got to realize that the numbers, they favor the casuals, or the new players. So it's like you gotta have something for them as well, without obviously sacrificing what the foundation and what the uniqueness of your game is. So, that would be like my question. I know it's kind of a loaded question, in terms of like asking it, but in full detail like that. But that would be my question if I was just limited to one. But with that being said, in the comments section below, though, because there are devs that are watching, both stream and in video form as well. And I just want to say that, like, please let your questions be known down below, because the questions not only are something that they could get possibly answered, but questions are also ideas in some ways, right? So sometimes a question that a dev might see on here, or wherever they see it, right, could be something that gives them an idea to inspire them to take the game in a certain direction that will that'll improve it without sacrificing its foundation. Sometimes you just never know. All it takes is an idea, and some testing, and then something great can come about it, because ultimately the portals themselves, at one point, they were just a concept and an idea, and then here we are today, right? There was Splitgate 1, and then here we are again with Splitgate 2. So, but anyway, with that being said, I'm going to end it here. Just a shorter video right now, and again, this is, like I said, this is the most important community stream and type of a feedback stream, and a way to talk to the devs, specifically the two co-founders, and ask them very specific type of questions, so that way we can get a little bit more clarity. Because ever since they've announced that we're going back to beta, even though that there's a lot that they did disclose, there's a whole lot more that we don't know in terms of specifics of what the future holds for this game. And obviously the biggest thing is we do not want to repeat any mistakes. Now, I know that they're big on that and they don't intend on doing that. However, again, with that being said, it's very important to, obviously, on one hand, you got to focus on your community that loves your game and that has been with you from the beginning. Yes, absolutely. You can't ignore them at all, or neglect them. However, at the same time, you do have to find that something, that niche that also the new player forward slash, casual player can come in and stay in, and it has to be something beyond a progression system, or any system that keeps the player grinding or whatnot. There's more to it than that. And it all has to revolve around what Splitgate means, but that's the biggest hurdle. It's like, how do you do that? What is that idea? How do you make that happen? So it's a really hard place to be in, and I really want to know what their vision is, because again, and I'm not trying to sound negative by any means, but it's the Splitgate community alone, even though it's a good one and a passionate one, the numbers by themselves may not be enough in order for this game to survive, and we don't want this game to survive. So I mean, I'm sorry, we don't want this game to die. So it's very I do not want to see a repeat of what happened with X Defiant, especially with a game that I've played so much of and enjoy so much of. I only want to see things move forward with this game. And I think it can also potentially make a difference in the industry as well, because it seems like the entire industry is going towards a certain direction that in the long run is going to continue to kill the genre, bit by bit, piece by piece. And this game is, I think, especially if played correctly, if the cards are played right in terms of what this game needs to do to reach its full potential, I think we can be in a spot to where we can prove to the gaming world that, like, yes, you can do it. It's a pain in the ass, but yes, you can do it, and you don't just have to rely on something inorganic like a lot of games do today in order for their games to succeed and to keep players, et cetera, et cetera. But perhaps that's another big discussion for another day. But I just wanted to add that in because it is important, and it is a part of my personal question, as well as my personal concern for the game, because I love the game and I want to see it grow, and I want to see the community grow as well. So anyway, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys tune in. I won't be able to because I'll be at work, but I'll catch up after I get home from work, or before I come home from work after my boss leaves, or something like that. So that way I can listen in while finishing up my shift, and then we'll go from there, and we can talk about it in stream tomorrow, and of course a video as well. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to this big time, and I hope we get some clarity out of this. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.